beautiful soul. This is Rochelle with the Healing Rose, and today we're doing a reading to look at the energies for the month of March. All right, so this can be, an interesting kind of transitional time of the year, right? We're still kind of like in winter, but not winter, depending where you're at. We're all kind of like bursting to get outside and get like outdoors and enjoy, what's coming, but we're not quite there yet. I always kind of find it feels like a month where, kind of a little stuck, a little kind of like, it's like spring is so almost here, but it isn't. And actually, as I do this, it is snowing outside at my house. So not getting into the garden anytime soon. All right, so let's just look. Let's see what's going on for March. All right, so where are we coming into the month? All right, so Two of Crystals. All right, interesting. And what do we need to deal with before we move forward? Okay, so it feels like the energy right now, we're kind of like juggling possibilities. We're not sure like which direction we want to move in. We're not super sure about what's going on. Feels like things have been like kind of a real balancing act lately, right? And we have this universe card here. So this is the first kind of thing we need to look at, we need to address. It may or may not be a challenge, but that sort of awareness that there's all kinds of possibilities, there's like endless opportunity out there. And if we're just kind of like focusing on this or that, which direction do we want to go? It's like maybe there's an alternate. Maybe it's not just two things, right? Maybe there's a third option there that we're not seeing. Maybe there's new possibilities on the horizon. It seems like there's this almost kind of duality mindset at the beginning of the month. It's this or that. And it doesn't have to be this or that. We can expand our reality. So we have our King of Wands coming in. And I think that's interesting as an influence card, right? That King of Wands energy, it's kind of like, large and in charge. It's being really passionate, being focused, being driven, which I think is really fabulous. Sometimes we need that energy coming in. Okay, so our challenge. What's our big challenge here? The Ace of Swords, right? So to me, I feel there's a lot of nuances here for the Ace of Swords. And in this particular, the feeling I get, it's like we need to really start to focus on where we are allowing our energy to leak out. So it's like we need to get focused and get clear and, draw your power back into yourself. Don't let other people, allow you to become unfocused or less intentional about what you're doing. And I feel like once we get really clear, we get super focused, we're like, these new ideas and new thoughts and new processes can come back into alignment when we are very clear about where we're putting our energy. This is how this is feeling for me. And we have this Empress, right? So it's like once we're super clear and we're like hyper focused, then we can come into this space of creativity. Then we can come into the space of making things happen. All right. So I'm kind of liking this King of Wands into Seven of Wands, right? So the struggles that we may have had, it feels like they're passing through, right? So at the core of it, this is about stepping into that space of leadership and just, allowing yourself to start to feel more of that King of Wands energy coming in. And interestingly, it's like, if we come in from this place and as we travel out, if we're stepping into this leadership, what's next? It's like take the leap. So we have this Ace of Swords, we have the Starseed, which is the Fool in this deck. We have the Empress. So, and we also have the universe, right? So it's like, this is a time where we can really start to create major change. What are we missing? Bottom of the deck, we have the sun, okay? Which I love, right? So it's like, if we want to go from this place of, to me, it feels like there's like, we're coming in with some stress as we allow ourselves to open up to possibilities and new creative ways of being. We're getting ourselves more focused and intentional. We can start to bring in that creativity, right? And really start to find our joy as we move through this month, right? Like just letting yourself step into that place of authority. To me, this feels like, okay, so how can we do that? Right? How can we be more intentional? How can we get clearer with where our energy is, with how we might be giving away our energy, with how we might be allowing things to shift in or out of focus, right? What deck do I want to work with? Do I want to work with this one? I thought I was going to use the Rose Oracle, but I'm really feeling the call to use this one. Work Your Light. If you've been here before, you've seen it. All right, so I've edged this. Isn't it lovely? Loving the edging on this. This is such a well-used deck. It was looking so awful and dingy, so just taking the time to edge it has totally shifted that. All right, so let's look at what do we need to know in order to create these positive changes through this month to bring us into a place where we can step forward into really beautiful new beginnings. Okay. All right. So, okay, look, boundaries. Okay. So call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. So I think this is again about being really intentional about who you allow in to your energetic field, about who you allow into your life to influence you. Okay, what your soul wants you to know. We have boundaries, right? So protection, boundaries, again, being so clear about what you want, about what you don't want. Okay, so I love this. Call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. To me, it's really feeling like that energy that I was feeling with the Ace of Swords. Okay, so what is rising in you? Birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. I love that, right? We want to create something new. That Empress energy, what is it that we want to manifest? What do we want to bring in? Okay, so what is falling away? The doubts. This card, stop overthinking, keep facing your true north, right? You're already doing it. So it's like the need to doubt yourself, the need to question what's going on, what's been happening. It's totally, we don't even need to focus on that anymore because now we're focusing on being really intentional on the energies that we bring in. Okay, so your gift, how can you mother yourself? Right? If you imagine yourself as the most wonderful, precious, beautiful, delicate little being, how would you nurture that being? How would you take care of that being, right? If it's your new kitten, your puppy, the energy that you want to put into cherishing and nourishing that little life, if you can treat yourself the same way, what does that look like? Okay, so what are we manifesting? Okay, divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms, that whole council of light, right? Team spirit, so your ascended masters, your ancestors that have passed over, all those beings in the celestial realms that are working together for your highest good with only, positive intent towards your life to help you move forward. Okay, the next step, break the chain. So looking at the ancestral patterns and healing those and allowing yourself to rewrite the future. And it's not just for yourself, for future generations, not just your family line, but also possibly for humanity, right? So all about, getting clear, getting focused, being very intentional, setting those healthy boundaries, bringing yourself into a place where you can feel like you're in a safe space so that you're able to be in that position to bring in this beautiful new energy, right? Focus in on your helpers in the spirit realm that want to work with you. and letting yourself be really intentional as you move forward, right? Okay, so the past life influence, unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. So whatever was influencing you before, this is really saying like, now is the time for you to let go of that. And this is influencing choices you've been making in your past, but as you move forward, through calling your power back, through cutting the cords and attachments to the karmic energies that were going on from those past lives, and, unraveling that karma, we can actually move forward into something totally new. Okay, what you need to know to move forward. Don't dim to fit in. Don't dim your light. Don't let yourself shine less. Don't let yourself get caught up in stepping back, stepping out of the way to allow someone else to step forward and shine. Just really allow yourself to embrace your uniqueness and to let that shine out into the world, because there are going to be people that resonate with that. Not everyone will, and that's fine, because you don't need everyone to like you. The people that resonate with you, with what you're doing, with your message, they will come to you naturally. Those people will find you. Okay, hopes and fears. What is not aligned or needs to change? So again, this is really focusing on being really intentional, being very clear as you move forward, seeing the things that aren't working, right? As you set these boundaries, there's going to be, somebody or someone that pushes back. They don't like the fact that you're setting a boundary. And that's okay, because you're in a place where you're making the changes that need to happen, right? Don't be afraid to make those changes, to bring yourself into alignment, to create your best possible life. All right, our final outcome card. Okay, the Pillar of Light. Your vibration is rising. You are the Oracle. So as you focus on having that, holding that space of being, allowing yourself to be in that pillar of light where you're connecting into this beautiful kind of like Holy Spirit, white light energy, allowing that to come down and flow through you, and staying grounded and rooted and connected into the earth, and focusing on like really shining that light out, and, practicing the boundaries, practicing, being kind, sending out that loving energy, and having those boundaries so you're not allowing people to come at you with that negativity, right? You're creating that alignment. You're letting go of the negative. You're shifting the way things are happening. You're creating, a whole new world, a whole new experience for yourself as you're working through this month in a very intentional way, staying focused. To me, this feels like very much focusing on the spiritual growth and how that's going to come out and affect other aspects of your life, right? When we're clear and we're focused and we're intentional and we have good boundaries, people don't usually test the boundaries. When the boundaries are weak, somebody's always going to be poking at them and testing to see what they can get away with, right? When we have those strong boundaries and we're very clear about it, it's never really a problem, right? It's like people don't even push up against that. I recently had somebody ask me about something. It's like, well, how do you deal with it when people are like this way, or they say this, or they do that? And I was like, that doesn't happen to me. People don't treat me that way, but I am very energetically clear and intentional about what it is I'm putting out. And, my message is, energetically, I'm very clear about what my message is, even if I'm on certain days less articulate about it. So moving into this, raised vibration, right? Stepping into your intuition, into your knowing, and allowing yourself to be really clear and allowing yourself to shine as you move forward, right? Because the way things have been is not the way things have to be as you move forward. All right. Really fascinating. Looks like there's some really interesting intentional work that is going to happen for the month of March, right? So even if it starts out a little bit challenging, know that you can move through the month in a much more aligned and clear way, once you're very clear and focused and intentional on what it is you want and what it is you want to create for yourself as you move forward, right? And don't be afraid to ask for help, right? Your council of light, team spirit, they're there. You know, they want to help, right? Your angels want to help. You just need to reach out. You just need to make that connection. All right. Thank you so much for watching. If you're still here, I'd love if you would hit that thumbs up button, or if you feel called to subscribe. And just a little public service announcement. I do offer private readings, and they are only booked through my website. The information is in the description box down below. I will never reach out and DM and solicit readings from anyone. If you want to book with me, the only way to do that at this point is directly through my website. So, you know, feel free to do that if you ever feel called to. In the meantime, somebody else contacts you and says, hey, they're me, they aren't. Just to be clear. All right. I hope that you have an absolutely fabulous month of March, and I hope to see you later. Have an amazing week. Take care.